Hi, my name is Zoe, and this is my dog Miso. A year ago, I decided to move to the countryside of Japan to pursue my dream of becoming a full-time artist. Here are snippets of my day-to-day life. I hope you enjoy.
I said I was going to make these tortillas yesterday, but I ended up making those little egg and feta muffin things for breakfast. So today for my lunch, I've decided to make it. I had like 88 grams of flour left in this bag, so I just decided to do it at that. And I ended up putting about 45 mils of water in. Miso has come to hang out and see what's up. I've got my little tortilla factory here. I literally just kind of rolled them in a bit of flour because the first one I did was so sticky it wouldn't come off the paper. And then I don't actually have a rolling pin, I'm just using this water bottle on top of the paper. But basically they're just going here. That is my first one I did, not bad. And I'm just in a dry pan. So these are like my homemade tortillas. Let's get this one in the pan. Ooh. So kind of looking like that. This is my first time ever making them. But yeah, eventually they do start to kind of like bubble up and get a bit of the texture. So it's pretty cool. I think this one was probably a little bit too fat. Yeah, this one's already starting to bubble. You can see here and here. Here we go. Look at that beautiful coloring. And yeah, that is kind of it. Last one here. So you can see it's kind of like sticky. So I'm just rolling it in the flour. Yeah, that is just a bit of excess. And then I'm kind of just making it as circular as it can go and as flat as it can with my hands first. And then I might even just sprinkle a little bit more flour on each side, just in case. Alright, so there you have it. Super simple tortillas, just on a dry pan here. Hey Misa, what are you doing? Hey, she come to play with us too. You want to eat some tomato? But you probably can't eat tomatoes. Hey. Hey Misa.
So I just finished taking Miso for her afternoon walk, and I was listening to a few astrology kind of podcasts and videos, and it's talking about the solar eclipse that is happening on the 17th of February, so in 2 days I believe, and it is finally moving into that Aquarius and Leo axis. So the solar eclipse that's in 2 days will be in Aquarius, which is in my 8th house. I am a Cancer rising in Western tropical astrology, and for me it's kind of like all about transformations, and I've definitely been feeling that. Pretty much my entire trip back to Australia was kind of for like a mini transformation. So for a few years now I have been doing something called NET, or Neuro Emotional Technique, and it's pretty much changed my life and helped me basically cure 90%, 95% of my health and just little random nervous system stress problems, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So this kind of last 10 days when I went back to Australia, I had an appointment pretty much every single day, and I would do 30 minutes of NET followed by some acupuncture. And yeah, I just kind of like got on the last little bits. Like I've been doing NET for since 2021. The December 2020 or December 2021 was my first appointment, and you know, I'll go through phases where I would do it once a week when I was in really bad health, and then now that I'm living away, obviously I can only do it when I go back. But I'm kind of like at the end of my NET now because I've done so much, and like just things don't pop up for me as much as they once did. Like for example, in the past when I had crippling anxiety, just anything that would trigger that, I would just write a little memo in my phone, and then we would go and NET whatever the trigger was, because it's basically just like neural reprogramming. But I'm kind of at the point now where not a lot of things trigger me, and you know, it kind of takes a while to find something. So yeah, I kind of did it like that for a while, and then, you know, there's just always, once you're past that kind of like survival phase with the neural reprogramming, you can actually kind of start working on fun, interesting things like about your business or about like the kind of person you want to be. So, I mean, for the last couple of months, I have just been doing more stuff that is like the fun kind of side of it, after being stuck in such a survival phase for so long and kind of needing that just to help me live my life. So absolutely amazing, absolutely life-changing, and honestly I have found that that has been the main thing that really helped me in my life. So I would definitely check it out if you can find an NET practitioner near you. I honestly swear by this thing, it's life-changing. But yeah, I just kind of did a lot of like internal reprogramming and transformation over my 10-day trip to Adelaide, my hometown. And yeah, now that I'm back in Japan, I have been feeling quite tired, due to get my period in a couple of days, so I'm definitely more on the low energy. And then yeah, I've obviously been doing the glucose goddess thing, so that's kind of like a body reset, but it's been good. I've been feeling like no PMS, which is like, I'm definitely have been a massive PMSer in the past, just super low energy and irritable and all sorts like that. So that has been nice, but yeah, just because I was so busy on my trip and I haven't really had any downtime, I have just been super tired. So I've been just taking like kind of naps throughout the day on the weekend now, and just I've also noticed, because I've done such an inner transformation, I've been kind of inspired to have the outer transformation kind of match it. So even though I've been tired, I have completely reorganized my closet, and then also the kitchen pantry that needed to be done for so long, and just all these little things. Like, I just want to really get into the habit of having that pantry and the food like ready and good to go, with like good nutrition and just healthy whole foods, which I just have been out of the habit of, and it's been kind of hard to get into it being in Japan, just because the ingredients and just like the kitchen setup and everything is a lot different to the West. So it's taken me a while to get into it, but yeah, the last trip to Adelaide was a big eye-opener of just how much I love and miss having like fresh whole foods and, you know, using herbs and stuff in my cooking. So I also have another little plan to make a little herb box out of like a polystyrene tub that I can get for free from my local supermarket, and just put some holes in the bottom. And then yeah, I want to get like basil, coriander, mint and thyme, because you just like cannot buy them fresh here. In the middle of summer you can sometimes get basil, but even coriander is like really hard to come by, and I would just love to have that on hand to be able to use whenever and wherever. I've just bought a food processor as well, which I have been absolutely loving. Oh my god, it just makes everything so fast and easy. I'm just like spewing that I didn't buy one sooner. It literally only cost me like 5,000 yen, and it has already just made everything so amazing and lovely. So yeah, I'm just kind of like changing over into this new person that I aim to be, that, you know, cares about what I put into my body for fuel and just stuff like that. And yeah, I can really just feel this kind of like eclipse energy. I can already feel that I'm making massive internal shifts, and I can't wait to see how they kind of translate in the external world now. So yeah, that's just kind of like a little update of me and my life. And yeah, what are you guys like? What's your rising sign, and how are these new eclipses going to be affecting you? For me, it is my 2nd and 8th house, so it's a lot to do with like money and finances and just like energy and resources and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm quite excited to see what the new kind of energy brings for me. One more thing I forgot to mention is one really positive side effect of doing the glucose goddess. So I'm on day 4, but usually I'm the kind of person that is tired and wired, so I'm like so just exhausted by the end of the day, but it usually takes me like an hour, sometimes even longer, to fall asleep. Like I just cannot switch off my mind. But since I've been doing her vinegar and just eating the way in the order that she says, because my diet was already pretty good and I just kind of needed to change up a little few factors, which is why I can see that this is like really sustainable and that I will be able to do it for the long term. But a really positive side effect from even day 1 is that I have literally been falling asleep and sleeping like a log pretty much every single night. I have not slept so easily and deeply in such a long time, potentially even my whole life. So yeah, that is just one amazing side effect I've noticed by keeping my blood sugar, along with the PMS just not really being a thing and just having like a lot of energy. Obviously I am on my lower end of energy at the moment with the period and everything, but you know, I'm definitely can't wait until I start my new monthly cycle and just see where it brings me and how I feel in the next month of doing this, because yeah, I've already found so many changes. My skin's cleared up, my sleep's improved, I have cleaner, more sustained energy. And yeah, even though I am like a bit tired and having naps through the day, but you know, I just can't believe it. It has only been 4 days and already like these 4 massive things that have been a thing for me, along with not having headaches when I'm hungry and not really getting that hungry between meals because I've been eating enough and just kind of not really nourishing and choosing good fuel to put in. I also haven't really been craving any sugar, which is so unlike me. Usually I'm such a sweet tooth and always love a little snack of a biscuit or something here and there, so that has also been really interesting, especially because I'm right before my period. Usually I would already be like eating half a block of chocolate by now. So yeah, that's just one other awesome thing that I have found from doing this, so I can't wait to keep updating and see how I progress. Hopefully I start getting some more awesome energy once I start my new monthly cycle. So I ended up getting my period last night, and oh my gosh, it is probably one of the nicest periods I have ever had, thanks to my little glucose goddess apple cider vinegar hack. Now I've been doing acupuncture and stuff like that for a while, so I don't really get like cramps or pain anymore, but I would just get like so tired, and for the first 2 days I would just feel like really groggy and like sluggish and not have much energy, whereas I got it kind of like just before I went to sleep last night. And yesterday and the day before I was pretty tired. I did have a few naps during the day, and then I would have like another burst of energy, and then I would have another nap. And I still did get a little bit lightheaded before it came, which is something that's kind of been happening to me. I just have a bit of like lightheadedness right before I get it, but then as soon as I get it, it goes away. So yeah, it's been really nice. I feel like super energetic. I pretty much, as soon as I had my breakfast, I felt the energy and I feel really good. And yeah, I've even worked and then done stuff. I can just feel the energy so much more, which is so nice, because yeah, usually just the first 2-3 days I'm just out, like just want to lay in bed and watch movies, but I do not feel like that at all this time, so that is really nice. Because as well, it's kind of like almost the Chinese New Year, so I think that begins on the 17th, which is tomorrow, and it's also in line with the Aquarius solar eclipse and the start of eclipse season. So to prepare for that, and just continuing because it's happening in my 8th house, which is kind of all about subconscious and, you know, cleaning out all the gunk. I have literally spent the last 3 days cleaning and reorganizing my kitchen and my closet and just trying to like unpack from my trip to Australia. So I'm gonna continue that vibe and clean out my workroom. So come and help me clean out my workroom now. It is an absolute bomb. I made 2 dresses the day before I left and I just went, oh well, I just don't have time or energy right now, so I'm gonna deal with that later. So let's have a look at how I have left it. I'm sure it is pretty bad. Okay, it's pretty bad in here. There's like dust bunnies on the floor. I don't know why this room gets such big dust bunnies, because it is part of the newly built part of our house. There are no gaps or anything, but I get these giant dust bunnies in here. But in the other room that's new built, it just doesn't seem to get them. So I don't know what the deal is, but like there's literally, it definitely needs a sweep, a vacuum, potentially even a mop, and then just a bit of organization. I literally have just dumped my loom in here because my husband had some customers and stuff coming over, and then I've just got these threads and stuff, and just, yeah, there's just this whole situation here just needs a bit of love. So I'm gonna get into that. Let's do a time lapse or something, because aren't they just so satisfying after you've watched everything just slowly, like a little ant, be put away piece by piece in a lovely spot. So let's get into it. This is what the room looks like now. Already looks so much better. Oh my god, I can't believe how fast that was actually. I think it probably, like, what's the time now? It is 2:30. So look, it probably took me like anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, but look at that. I'm so ready to make my next project now. Actually motivates me when the room is clean. And this corner, really, I need to figure out some better storage way for all my scraps, but honestly that will do for the moment. I would also like to kind of go through these drawers and give them a bit of a birthday, but you know, one step at a time. Just having a little break. I've just finished cleaning the room in there, making a cup of tea before I continue anything further. And Miso has come to see what's going on. Yeah, Miso. Beautiful cow. Tea time, finally. Wow, now that I've taken a minute to sit down, I am a little bit tired. But you know, day 1 of the cycle of womanhood. So it's not too bad. But I'm really impressed. I have completely reorganized my kitchen and pantry yesterday. Did my closet on the day before that. And then today I have attacked my sewing room. I definitely still need to go through the drawers and stuff, but like it's not really in a big rush. It's kind of just the 2 middle drawers, and I would like to do there's like a little shelf above a hanging space that needs a bit of love as well. But other than that, the room is quite small, so it doesn't actually need a lot. The only other place I would like to kind of give some love is my dining room. It has just got a bit of unfinished projects and here and that laying everywhere, so I would also like to just give that a little bit of love. And then I am just kind of planning to wrap up all of my unfinished projects. So I have the flower beanie I want to finish off, as well as a whole other project of crochet that I haven't even started yet, that I bought the wool for, the persimmon tree inspired on it. Kind of feels a bit crazy to make it now, considering that it's going into spring and probably won't even need that soon, but I mean, I'll be happy to be able to wear it straight away next season, so I think I will definitely like to kind of just whip that out and finish that, as well as I have a pair of black jeans that I got them in like 2018, but they are an MM6 pair. It's one of my favorite jeans. They're kind of like the only jeans that I've ever found that have fit my sway back and my bum perfectly. So I bought them pretty much like in every colorway, and I've bought them in every shape and size and yada yada yada, but they are getting a bit of wear and tear, so I've been doing like a sashiko cross stitch and repairing the rips just in, they were started off with like a really black color and now they've faded to like a dark grey charcoaly color, so I'm doing the cross stitching in just like a dark grey gunmetal kind of color. So I have had those pretty much since May, waiting to complete last year. So I think I just want to like smash out all of my unfinished projects and just really kind of get everything done and out of sight, out of mind before the like Chinese New Year is obviously tomorrow, and then in a month's time we have the astrological New Year, and I definitely feel like that is a lot nicer because it's coincides with spring and you got that new energy. Like, I don't know, just living in Australia, I've never noticed the new year to be so like dark and just groggy and unmotivating. Having the new year at winter, like, wow, I just felt like I just hid away in a cocoon for like a couple of months there. So yeah, I really feel like the new year energy is like just coming in now, and yeah, I just kind of want to wrap everything up before the new year energy takes over.